As a salesperson, what makes a good sales manager for you and the rest of the industry? I'm Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live from Sacramento, California. A perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about a sales manager. And so video number 4 is they don't pull punches. And there are things that you need to hear, just like there's things that I need to hear as an individual that will make me better. And there are times where you make mistakes, there's times where I make mistakes, and you need to be told, hey, you're not doing good. Hey, you know, this really needs to be fixed. Now, there are people who have bad delivery and no empathy, and they're just very robotic, and they're like, hey, as a salesperson, you're no good, but they don't really give solutions, okay? So if you've been through the series, you know that a good sales manager is going to listen, a good sales manager is going to coach, and a good sales manager is going to be empathetic to what's going on. Now, there is a point where some salespeople just don't belong in sales. And a really good sales manager is going to go to a salesperson and be like, hey, look, you know, time out. I don't think that this industry is the right one, right? Maybe something different for you, okay? A good sales manager is going to say, hey, look, you got a bad attitude. A good sales manager is going to say, hey, look, your closing rate's not right. And I don't mean this in a mean way. I mean it as like a real conversation, like a mentorship conversation. And there's been plenty of times where I've been called to the carpet, hey, Scott, you screwed up, because I make mistakes too. I'm not perfect, right? So anything that I teach you in these lessons and my videos, I've probably made this mistake. I've probably had this issue. So it's not like I'm like, it's only you and not me. I make mistakes too, right? And my coaches and my mentors, the best ones, have always said, hey, Scott, we got to put the smack down. You're having some struggles, you're having some issues, let's work through them. And so, you know, it's that patience, it's the coaching, but they're willing to have a conversation. Wouldn't it be horrible if you were not good at something and they wouldn't tell you why? That's not a good position to be in. That's difficult. That's horrible to learn from. That's really not a good place to be. So, video number 4 here is a good manager is not, good sales manager, a good manager anyway, is not going to pull punches. They're going to say and have the conversation that needs to be said. Now, your role and responsibility, you have one just like I do, is to take notes and to figure out how to fix it. Your job is to ask a couple of questions and not in an argumentative manner and be like, you know, sometimes you'll meet with people and they're asking questions to push the deflection and like deflect. That's a really tough place for you to be in, okay? So, good sales manager for you, just so you know, is going to have the tough conversation, and not all the time is it the popular conversation. Sometimes it's tough to have. So, if you've had a good sales manager, leave a note in the description down below that really didn't pull punches, it really coached you up, really made you a better salesperson. I can think of quite a few people in my life that I could put in this position where they have made me a better person, but they were willing to come to me and say, hey, look, Scott, in whatever way, you screwed up. And I had to take the lumps, because I did. Like, yep, I screwed up. And you just admit it. Like, I screwed up, what do I got to do to get better? Let's create a game plan. Let's create something for me, but you live up to it, right? There's nothing worse than somebody who's like, hey, I need help, and then they do nothing with the help, who was just, I'm deflecting, okay? So, you got one thing to do from here, just one thing. Find the subscribe button and click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update as long as you click on the bell too. We'll see you soon. Thanks for dropping by. Aloha.